In this video, we're going to talk about mentee Jonathan. Jonathan found me 16 weeks ago with an interest in developing his sales ability. And in this video, you're going to hear about how he went from being a middle-of-the-pack salesman at his company to being one of the top producers, even approaching one of the company records or coming #2 to the all-time for the company's entire existence. Now, Jonathan came to me with struggling knowing how to navigate concerns, how to navigate a sales call properly, and he had found me through word of mouth through other thought leaders in the space such as June or other sales influencers. And so enjoy the video as we hear about his success or has a story as he goes from just kind of figuring out how to find his footing into having complete mastery and control over his sales calls to the point that he knows how to reframe and overcome concerns. I'll see you guys over there. What's going on, guys? Kaleb here, and I'm on with Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you?
Yeah, doing very well today. Thanks, mate. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And so today we're going to talk about your experience with just sales training and development. A lot of people come to me for FSC, but you came here for sales training and development a while back. And I believe you just had one of your best months in company history or just with your time. But I don't know. I'll let you say it. How did last month go for you?
Yeah, no, it was really good. So I basically improved my sales results by about 50% over the last 3 months that we've been training together, which has been huge for me. I've been with the company for about a year and 3 months now, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been coasting around the same results the whole time, around maybe 25, 30 sales. But I just hit
Mm-hmm.
my biggest month around 43 sales, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, nailed a 45% close rate, which was, yeah,
Yeah.
complete difference from
Yeah.
other months.
Yeah. And you're very humble, not saying, but you were #1 on the leaderboard for the whole company. You set a record now.
Yeah, so for the Australian division, yeah. So that was first time I've really hit a huge number on there. So it was really good to see.
1000%. Well, so again, obviously it was a journey. You said it was 3 months. Well, it has been 3 months. I guess it's crazy to think. I feel like it went pretty quickly, but where were you at prior to, well, you've been with the company, but where were you at, yeah, prior to sales coaching? And then how did you even find your way to? Because I know that you just kind of rocked up on the calendar out of the blue and then we partnered. But yeah, where were you at prior with kind of sales, career development? And then how did you find what this is?
Yeah, so I've taken a couple courses previously, but never really had that one-on-one coaching. And I think that's what really refined the process. Just having that on a daily basis really allowed me just to refine the nitty-gritty and get down to the things that actually move the needle forward, which was huge to
Mm-hmm.
see. Because a lot of the courses I've taken previously, they're just online content, and you can go over that as much as you want, but it's just that
Mm-hmm.
direct feedback, which has been huge on a weekly basis. So that's
Mm-hmm.
been really good to see. So I've taken maybe one or two courses, didn't really see
Mm-hmm.
that much success, maybe picked up a couple things. But yeah, as soon
Mm-hmm.
as I got into the course, then month one onwards, yeah, it was a complete shift in what was going on in the day to day.
Yeah. And what was actually kind of like the straw that broke in your mind where you were like, okay, I think this is the place to be, the place to do it?
Probably after the first couple of sessions, I started going through the course, and there was just a couple of things which really got into the granularities that other courses didn't. So
Mhm.
just seeing that quality in the course structure and then tying that in with the one-on-ones to actually pull it into fruition was probably the biggest thing. And then
Mhm.
once I started getting that, the self-certainty in myself just went up massively. And then that's when it kind of just had a flow-on effect.
Yeah, 1000%. Well, and I even kind of look at too, right prior, because I know that, I mean, we had never met, never spoken, never seen prior to you finding a way onto the calendar. And so that sort of was like, what was the straw that broke in your mind there that kind of let you know that this was the place to do coaching or that like this would be the place to be?
Yeah, so I was actually on your YouTube for a little while. I think I was following June for a while,
Hmm.
and I saw one of your calls with him. So then I started looking into your YouTube channel, saw some of your coaching calls, some of your role plays, and I really liked the way you sold. So I started looking into that a bit more. Then I found my way to your school group, and that's kind of when we connected. And then yeah, just went from there.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I think I do remember you in the school community briefly. There might have been like one or two messages or whatnot, and
Yeah,
then we had hopped on. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, that is killer. Well, so yeah, it's been 3 months, and I mean, to the kind of best of your ability. So month one, I do remember kind of month one. Month one, I think was just personal mindset foundations of just like, okay, let's lay the floor. But how would you kind of explain your journey from like month 1 to month 2 to month 3 and kind of your breakthroughs in that?
Yeah, so month one was just essentially grinding down into the course content. There was a lot of content in there. So I was just trying to understand what that all meant, trying to get the theory behind it. Coming into month two, then we kind of staggered it down into just focusing on the scripting, getting all the concepts down and starting to apply that. And then in this third month, I've just really been focusing on the tonality, the delivery of everything while we're delivering in a certain sense. And then just
Mhm.
trying to get a bit creative with it as well to make
Yeah.
sure that, the specific customer type can be more receptive to what we're saying and how we approach those different customer types accordingly as well.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I would say probably you've got it cracked now for the most part, right? Being top producer and getting 40, 44, 45 deals. It's more than a deal a day, every single day for an entire month. That's the pace that you're moving at. So that's incredible.
Yeah, 43 deals, so biggest month yet. And yeah, that was good. Good to see.
43 deals. Would you say that there was any kind of big epiphanies? I know that there was a lot of development, but I don't know if there was one thing that you feel like was stood out to you as like a light bulb moment or kind of like the
Yeah, there was definitely a couple. One big thing was the energy that I was bringing to the calls. That was probably the first biggest shift because when I had that shift, then I could just see how the customers were receptive to that. They were actually being drawn into what I was saying rather than just talking to them and moving through a script. So that was
Mhm.
probably one of the biggest things. And then the whole concept around identity and breaking belief systems, that was the next thing, which was a hugely impactful thing, just to actually shift where they are, where they want to be, and kind of bridge that gap. So that was really good as well.
Yeah. Well, so and now what's next? Now that you've made number one in the Australian division, 43 deals in a month, what do you see as kind of in the future over the horizons?
Yeah, so look, I'm really keen just to keep progressing on the direction I'm going now. There's still a lot to refine, and especially with like different concern navigation techniques that you teach, I'm really keen just to hone down in that, just to make sure that I can keep refining that process.
1,000%. And yeah, I would say, I mean, it's 3 months, things aren't even done yet, but I mean, you did the work on your part. I will say, I've had a handful of people that I've kind of seen come into things that I've built, or even just have been a sales coach for agencies and stuff like that. And so, yeah, without a doubt, you put 110% effort. And I think understanding, mastering, and I think big thing is trusting the process, but the results were there. And I think that's what made it easier. Is you kind of saw, oh, the deeper that I went down this seems to be built on something. So, but no, that's good.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure. And that was one thing that you mentioned at the start of the course too, just focus on one thing at a time. I think it's so easy to go out on YouTube and find five different sales trainers to learn off all at once,
mhm.
but then they have all conflicting ideologies, but just focusing on one thing, really honing down and just trusting the process was a big thing as well.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And what would you say for anyone who's a skeptic? Maybe not for sales training, but maybe for me as a coach or products. I try not to be a charlatan. Well, I'm not a charlatan. I try not to be a charlatan. But what do you say for anyone who's like a hardcore skeptic? Is like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I think you just need to pull the trigger on it. It's one of those things like if you're not developing yourself, then you're never going to actually get to the point that you want to be. And finding
Mhm.
someone like yourself that knows what they're doing and can offer that one-on-one coaching to really refine the process is really the fastest, most exponential way to get there.
Yeah, just like that. Well, from a year and a half of this company to 3 months, from what 30 deals a month to now 43, hitting the highest pay rise, number one in the office, and also, well, was it a new company? Well, record for the Australian division as far as what you can sell. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it was very close. So it wasn't the top record, but very
Mm.
close. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah. Well, you're too humble. But no, sweet. That's pretty much also I would say for those of you guys who are watching this and are curious to learn a bit more, it should be maybe somewhere around here. There should be a link to set up a time with me. Sales coaching is something that I still do offer, but it's primarily for people who are like Jonathan, who already have a position, already have kind of the setup and the initial conditions, and so are just really looking for the mastery of the skills. And yeah, obviously we've got other stuff too, but Jonathan, it was a pleasure having you on. It was a strong October, finishing it off strong. And yeah, I guess until the next one, see you guys. All the best. Cheers.